gentlemen, and welcome back to another PC Boys podcast. I am your host, Logan Locke. So, it has been a little bit of time, as per usual, since the last podcast, but today we are here to talk more Marvel as we finally got our first look at Captain America Brave New World, as well as, of course, a new Deadpool trailer. So, little bit of stuff to break down. So, today's episode is going to be focused on those two things. And of course, Deadpool and Wolverine comes out a week from this Thursday, so I will be having a review out next weekend, and I will be having a review of Twisters up this weekend. I don't know if it'll be up on Saturday, after work, or Friday night once I get home from the movies, but I want to let you guys know that both of those reviews will be coming over the next few weeks, so it'll be exciting to actually do one of those, because I don't do reviews much anymore, because I'm not interested in a lot of things that come out. But without further ado, let's get started. So I want to start off by saying I am very impressed with Captain America Brave New World. Considering how much the budget of that movie is, which is easily over $400 million at this point, and considering the fact of how many reshoots they've had to do, and not only all the reshoots that they had to do, but the amount of script pieces that they had to cut out, put back in, and moving a lot of different components of the story around, is definitely, you know, it makes you very nervous, right? For a while, I've said that this is one of those projects that I'm very worried about when it comes to Marvel, because I want it to be good. I love the Captain America movies. All three of them I enjoyed. I know some people didn't like the first Captain America movie. I personally loved it. And I personally think the Captain America trilogy was the best MCU trilogy that there was, period. And yes, even though Spider-Man is my favorite character, I only enjoy two of his movies, and I still don't think that they compare anywhere near the Captain Americas. That's my opinion. So when it came to this movie, I had a lot of hope. You know, even though we're talking about Sam Wilson's Captain America, which, for reference, in the comics, Captain America was not even among my favorite superheroes whatsoever, but the movies made me like him, at least the MCU incarnation of Captain America. And having Sam Wilson being Captain America is perfectly fine. I know that there are some people that are not big fans of that idea for some reason, like those geeks and gamers. But for me personally, I have no problem with it. I'm excited for a different take and a new story. And ultimately, I think that this could be a good movie. And the trailer proved very much like it could be a good movie. It had a lot of that spy espionage feel to it, very similar to The Winter Soldier, which is my favorite Captain America movie of all time and favorite Marvel movie of all time. So it definitely has a lot going for it for me personally. We get to see Harrison Ford, of course, playing Thunderbolt Ross. They make a joke within the first 25 seconds of him not having a mustache, which obviously William Hurt did. You know, God rest his soul. So they addressed the fact that he looks different. And also in this trailer, you see Isaiah Bradley trying to kill the president. There's some, conversation about if they're going to remove that scene or not because of recent events. But obviously this trailer came out before all that happened. But still, so you have that. You have the new Falcon that's showing up to help Sam, which he wasn't really in the trailer all that much. He was there a little bit at the end and a little bit during that White House scene where Thunderbolt Ross is doing like some kind of like, not a demonstration, but like he's looking like a world map and he's kind of talking with people in the room about it. So there definitely is a lot at play with this movie, a lot of Hulk stuff. We get to see a brief look at the leader wearing like a top hat and stuff like that and a coat. We get to see, Red Hulk, as you can see on screen, which we'll get into in a little bit. But there's, the Super Soldier, project that's kind of going on, like an illegal one. I believe the Serpent Society is still going to be in this movie, or at least play a role in this movie. To what degree, I do not know. But it's very apparent that, in this film, it's very much going to be like spy espionage. The government's compromised kind of ordeal again, except it's not going to be Hydra this time, I wouldn't think. But we'll ultimately see, and I guess that Giancarlo Esposito, forgive me if I said his name wrong. But his character, I believe, is George Washington, not like the President George Washington, but the George Washington in the comics. He was also African American. He's like a weapons specialist expert. So I guess that's who his character is supposed to be. Which is fine, if they can, actually do something with it. It's kind of like one of those Orwell Taylor situations with like Venom 3, where it's a very unknown, relatively small character that they can kind of just do whatever they want with, and, not really anybody's gonna bat an eye at it. But ultimately, the trailer was very impressive. Good action, good suspense, and it's a teaser trailer, so, you don't exactly know what the plot's gonna be about, but if I had to take a guess, Thunderbolt Ross is trying to reignite the Captain America Super Soldier, program, and there is conflicting parties, of interest that are gonna fight against that idea or fight for that idea. Obviously, Sam will probably be against it. If I had to take a guess, considering how much the Captain America Super Soldier serum has caused, harm in the MCU in general. With the Flag Smashers and whatnot. But that's ultimately, I think, what's going to happen. I know that part of this movie takes place in Japan, and before anybody says, how do I know that? Well, one thing, cherry blossom tree. Number two, one of the fighter jets in the trailer had the Japan logo on its wing. So it's very obvious that there will be Japan scenes in this movie. As well as, I believe, Thunderbolt Ross, Sam Wilson, is also standing beside what looks to be like a prime minister or a, government figure from Japan during one of like the press conference snippets in the trailer. So it's very obvious that they're going to Japan, which is probably where the final stand will be. I am also hearing that this movie is going to have an adamantium subplot line. And they're also addressing the Eternals, a big celestial in the middle of the ocean. In the background of this trailer, you can see like this big structure in the middle of the ocean, which is the celestial from the Eternals. So it's good to know, like, I didn't watch the Eternals. Like, I straight up did not watch that movie. I found the premise of it boring. It's the only MCU movie I have not watched, or MCU project that I have not watched. But I'm glad that they're at least acknowledging that movie. Again, that the fact that there is a celestial in the background, which will probably play into the adamantium subplot line, and they'll probably get adamantium from that celestial, if I had to take a guess. And let's get to the big elephant in the room, Red Hulk. So there's a scene earlier on in the trailer where the White House gets like blown up on the side. If I had to guess, that's Red Hulk, and they just removed him out of the trailer, like CGI removed him, just like they did with the two Spider-Men in the No Way Home trailer when that first came out, and you saw like all the villains jumping towards Spider-Man, and there were these clear spaces of something being removed. If I had to take a guess, Red Hulk was removed from that as well. And of course, as you can see, here on screen, that is Red Hulk, clear as day. The only critique I have with Red Hulk is I feel like he doesn't look vascular enough, and I am a big fan of the original Incredible Hulk design of the Hulk, so I think if they make Red Hulk look more veinier and muscular, that would be great. Like, this looks fine, and it is shadowed a little bit, but it's very clear that they're still not done with the effects 100%. But overall, this trailer looks fucking phenomenal. And you see in the trailer as well, the Falcon have two different suits. The suit he had at the very end of Falcon and Winter Soldier, as well as a brand new suit that looks a little bit more like Steve's Avengers / Winter Soldier tactical outfit. So he does get that. He also gets like a wing helmet when he's flying around. Which, if I'm correct, they did have concept art of that exact design in Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like, it was one of the unused designs, so they're probably just bringing it over into this movie to obviously sell toys, because in every Marvel movie, there's got to be at least 2 or 3 suits to sell more toys, which makes you a little worried about Spider-Man in his upcoming movie, because we haven't seen the final swing suit that much yet, but we'll see what happens there. But yeah, very impressed, very excited about Red Hulk and how all this plays out. I have a lot of faith in this movie. Despite all of the problems behind the scenes, I think that this movie could be very, very good. let's just hope that it does. The only concern I have with this movie is not the fact that it can actually end up being good. It's the fact of, will it make back its budget? That's the major concern I have with this movie, because this movie's budget is, like I said, ballooned over $400 million, and that's not even including advertising costs, and they're just starting to advertise it. Outside of like the McDonald's toys that came out months ago, this is like their first big start to their advertisement campaign. So it's very obvious that they're going to have to, put more money into that venture of advertising. So this movie will probably have to make $1 billion or close to $1 billion to break even or make profit. And that's kind of just the unfortunate reality that they're in with this movie in particular. But I think it could be a good movie. I know a lot of people are, not very happy with the MCU. I'm not very happy with it at the current moment. But I do have faith in a Captain America movie. And until they give me a reason not to, then I won't. And for those of you that just don't like watching this movie because you don't think Sam Wilson is Captain America, I hate to tell you guys, but as people that say you should stick close to the comics, they did. So, yeah, to those people, just get off your high horse. Okay. So, now we're going to talk about today's big reveal, and that would be the Deadpool core. Now, I talked on the podcast a little while ago about the Deadpool core and how they were going to be in this movie. Rather, that's a major role, minor role, we don't really know. But we knew that they were coming. Well, at least I knew. Many other people did as well. So in today's trailer, these are the scenes that we got. Obviously, you have Lady Deadpool, you got a Cowboy Deadpool, and of course, Dogpool, who will, be in the movie consistently going forward. But this is a new picture that I just saw on X before I started the podcast. Figured I'd retweet it, have it on the wall. It is very hard for me to know some of these variants, okay? Lady Pool's a given. Cowboy Deadpool, also a given. This one kind of, I don't know, like an anarchy kind of Deadpool. This one looks like he's got like a Christmas sweater going on or something. Yeah, so this one right here looks like a 2099 looking Deadpool. It's like got a futuristic armor and stuff. So it's very hard. It's very hard to dictate how this is going to play, how this is going to work. But if I had to take a guess when this scene takes place on this top picture here, would probably be in the scene where Deadpool and Wolverine, you know how they come in front of like the barber shop or the donut shop or whatever the hell. I think that this is the same area as them. Now, you don't see normal Deadpool or Wolverine in the shot, so I don't know if Deadpool and Wolverine are gonna fight the Deadpool core. Actually, I never thought about that. What if the Deadpool core is the bad guys of the movie? Now, then again, Deadpool and Wolverine could be teaming up with the Deadpool core. Maybe they're just there as a gag. But maybe they could be the bad guys of the movie? I mean, I want to just think about it like this. Deadpool and Wolverine, the movie, the premise of it is essentially saving Deadpool's universe. Okay? And knowing that Deadpool as a character is very, psychopathic and kills people and doesn't really think through his actions, it wouldn't be far-fetched to say that Deadpools from other universes are posing a threat to the multiverse. Maybe doing their own little Deadpool kills the Marvel universe, but in their own universe kind of thing. It's hard to tell what role the Deadpool corps are going to play in this movie. Like I said, a long time ago, we're talking back in like December, November, I was talking with some of my professors who are huge Marvel fans about the fact that the Deadpool corps are going to be in this movie. The question just remains, what role do they play? And that's a major thing with Deadpool and Wolverine. We don't even know who the real villain of the movie is. Like, yes, Cassandra Nova is like the big one. But if I had to argue, maybe she's a red herring and it's kind of like, yes, Cassandra Nova's the bad guy of this movie, but not the bad guy. So yeah, I mean, it's a very interesting concept. And we already know that there's supposed to be like um this group in the void that is fighting against Cassandra Nova and her people. So, of course, those rumors being like Wesley Snipes' Blade, Daphne Keene's X-23, Channing Tatum playing a variant of Gambit, and what's her name? Jennifer Gardner as Elektra from the original Daredevil movie way back. So there is a lot of there's a lot of pieces here that could easily be, I guess you could say, like red herrings as to like what point in the movie it takes place and who's the real villain. And considering people have seen the like first 40 minutes of the movie, it's looking more like either the Deadpool Corps are going to come in and help Deadpool and Wolverine take on whoever this big bad is, or they might be the bad guys, like that group. Like I was talking about in an earlier podcast about the Deadpool Corps, is the fact that they were formed to fight a multiversal threat. I keep forgetting who the name of the fucking guy was, but the point is basically that they were sent to fight him, but then also there's an evil version of the Deadpool Corps, who I've also forgotten the names of, but anyways, their whole goal is to like essentially destroy the multiverse and like cause havoc and shit. This may be the Deadpool Corps, the good guys, or the bad version. So it's hard to tell as to what side we're looking at and how this is going to go. But it makes me more excited, and it, like I said, confirmed what I was talking about a long time ago, and many other people were talking about a long time ago, the fact that the fact that the Deadpool Corps were going to be in the movie. And I'm very excited that they're going to be doing this because it's unique, right? Seeing all these variants on screen. But some of these need some fucking explanation. Like I said, Lady Pool, easily noticeable. Cowboy Pool, easily noticeable. But the rest, I couldn't fucking tell you at all what the rest are. But we'll have to wait and see. This picture's also looks like it could be in a screening, considering there's this huge cutout here. So maybe one of the people that got to see the first 30 minutes. But, ladies and gentlemen, that is all I have for you in today's podcast episode in terms of talking about Deadpool and Wolverine. And, of course, Captain America Brave New World. I also should mention about the Captain America Brave New World thing is the fact that with that, it's there's a scene in the trailer where they're burying somebody, and my guess would be that is Steve Rogers, who finally has passed away of old age, but we'll see what happens when the movie comes out or when we get closer. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Do stay tuned to the main podcast over the next few weeks because, like I said, we will be, of course, doing a review of Twisters this weekend, and next weekend a review of Deadpool and Wolverine. And I'm very excited to watch both of these films. I'm really pumped. We're going to be going Friday to watch Twisters. So, very excited. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.